Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang. It is Monday, jumping right into NFL Week 2 with a look at the opening lines. We're also going to talk Monday Night Football. J.J. McCarthy making his debut. On top of that, Mets and Phillies are playing today. We're going to break that down. Gianni's going to join us with the Steam report, see where the money's going for tonight's game as well as this upcoming weekend. Krackomberger's going to join us. We're going to talk MLB or Monday Night Football. We'll get his thoughts on week 1. And Steve Merrill's going to join us. He's going to give you a deep breakdown of Monday Night Football, and then he'll talk Mets and Phillies. We're also going to take a look at what's the overreactions from week 1, where the books won, where the bettors won, and who are the big winners in props and fantasy football. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hit that like button while we bring in Gianni and get the Steam report, and leave us a comment in the comment section. Gianni, happy Monday. I know it was a busy weekend. Hope everything went well. I'm coming off a nice 6-4 day in NFL. You give me 60% winners every Sunday. I'm a happy man. How are you, sir?
Wonderful, man. It's been a great start to the football season, exactly as I expected. I just hit refresh now, currently number 1 in NFL and college football combined for 2025, up almost 50 units. And yeah, we're just starting. If you're not on the college football, getting the college football action, you're missing out. I sent my subscribers, not for the daily guys, but I sent my subscribers almost what an entire day of my stuff looked like. Just they voted yes, they wanted to see it. So I gave them so much volume on Saturday so they see what a betting syndicate actually looks like over a couple hours, the amount of plays that they fire. So it was a eye-opening experience for them. And it turned out well. When all the dust settled, we turned the profit overall. Really good over the last couple of weeks has been good. And now just move on to next week. Bottom line. The past is the past. What we do ahead is what matters most.
I don't have the heart for for all the plays that they do. My heart can't take it. Just give me some of my props and my random plays, and I'm happy.
Everyone's style's different. We all have different like risk tolerance. We all are able to handle things differently. Like for me, it's more nerve-wracking, like zeroing in on one play and needing that one. You know what I mean? It's just everybody approaches it different. It's what works for you, where you're able to be optimum. I think that's what you stick for, whether it's low volume or high volume. I don't think there's a correct approach. I just think it's in what helps you become a profitable bettor, and that's what you should stick to.
Yep, stay in our comfort zone. Let's take a look at Monday Night Football. To me, this is a pretty tough one when you got a quarterback making a debut like that. You got new coaches and everything. What's happening here in this game?
Well, no surprise. We saw some money come in on the Minnesota Vikings early. Like you said, the question marks for the Chicago Bears, even in a divisional game, even being at home. But since then, we saw some take back on Chicago, and it's good two-way action. Like this is the kind of game you want to book, where you're getting good two-way money. The opportunity to get middled really isn't there. We're also seeing under money from the recreational bettors, which is a little surprising on a primetime standalone game. They usually like to bet the favorite and over on those. But historically, this has been an under series. I think if you look at the last 5 or 6, maybe only one time last year, one of the games went over. Otherwise, it's been a lower scoring series. And I think that's why you're starting to see the under money come in from the betting public. It'll be interesting to see if the total starts reflecting that, because you saw kind of a half-point movement towards the under, but not much respect at all. So it definitely wasn't sharp money that's betting it. It's recreational bettors betting the under. And like I said, it's good two-way action. Some of the risk that the books have, they definitely have some risk on Minnesota from some of the parlays from yesterday, some of the money line parlays, and also some teaser liability as well. Right now, you can tease Chicago up through, if you could get 1.5, you could get them up to 7.5. That's a plus EV long-term profitable teaser. But I think a lot already had Minnesota in their teasers from yesterday, because Minnesota's the side they wanted to bet, which again doesn't make sense, but they feel a little more comfortable getting Minnesota at +5 or 6, depending on what teaser they used. But I highly recommend don't tease. Even when it's a standalone game, don't tease totals. There's a couple rules you stick by with teasers, and you'll do just fine. Don't lay more than 125 for a 6-point teaser. Try to go through 3, 6, and 7 only. Don't bet numbers. I mean, teams bet numbers, and don't tease totals. So in a game like tonight with Monday Night Football, if you don't have something to tease already for next week, forget the teaser. Don't tease it to the total. You're not getting any added value. You're better off straight betting.
Well, it had to be a huge week for teasers. I mean,
Oh yeah.
all the most popular ones. I mean, I'll ask Dave Mason about it later this week, but teaser, it had to be teaser central for the
Yeah, and
public.
before
I'm sure the
kickoff in the
books
steam
got killed
room,
on those.
I narrowed down those long teasers that based on the closing line, and there were 5 that qualified, 4 of them
Wow.
cash.
Wow.
Only 1 didn't, and that was it. And that was Detroit against Green Bay, the blowout. Otherwise, every other leg covered.
So when you have a week where all the teasers hit, what do we do next week? Because it feels like the numbers are going to end up regressing to the medium. So let's take a look here at week 2 and look at some of these opening lines. Anything of note?
Well, Indianapolis Colts getting money now. The Indianapolis Colts were the forgotten team. Talking about them over the summer, they were getting no action at all. Like no one even cared whether bet them to make the playoffs, not make the playoffs, over season win totals, under season win totals. Books were really not booking much Indianapolis Colts. And yesterday, after that win, you saw money come in immediately and grab that 3.5 on Indianapolis. They also took the 1 on Philadelphia immediately. They laid the 5 with the LA Rams immediately, laid the 3 and the 4 with the Dallas Cowboys after that one got dummied down a little bit, and also took the LA Chargers, who looked phenomenal on their primetime standalone week 1 game. So it's Colts, Philly, Rams, Dallas, Chargers, already seeing some sharp money for week 2 in the NFL. Remember, this is one of the most advantageous weeks for bettors because we've only had 1 game played, and yet we have 6 days to analyze it. And there are a lot of conclusions that are going to be drawn off simply 60 minutes of football that just aren't warranted. And that's where I think you'll be able to take advantage of recency bias, none greater in week 2 because of the overreaction and no data really to support it behind it. So it's all projecting. And when you're going out on that risk curve, you kind of want a better return than laying 11 to win 10. But you're going to see a lot of opportunities to turn a profit next week, just taking advantage of some of that recency bias. Because again, we only had 1 game played and a lot of analysis on that 60 minutes.
As somebody that lives in Indianapolis and watches the Colts and follows them, can I just say, calm down? Calm down. Let's see how they
Block called it. He said Colts Super Bowl.
Blocked.
My Chargers future looked good. Go Chargers. Go Chargers.
That's that. Yeah, I bet you got the way best of that number at this point. Listen, I'm rooting for the Colts. I'm just saying, let's wait until they play a team with a pulse. Let's just wait and see before we back up the bring. Never forget the Saints last year. Didn't they win their first 2 games?
Exactly.
Of the year?
Came out looking like on fire.
$1 billion. Yeah. So, what do you think was good for the bettors besides the teasers over the weekend? What did you see? The under was what smoked everybody, I think, in that Pittsburgh Jets game. I know that was a big one for the books. What did you see that the
they were the wise guys steamed that one as well. They were steaming the under first half and the under in the game. And again, that just didn't get there. That always worries me. Whenever I see sharp bettors on the same side that's truly one-sided, it worries me a little bit, especially when it's an under. Like when it's an over and you got the recreational bettors on the over and the sharps on the over, that makes sense. But when you get the under steamed and the public's heavy on the under as well, those always worry me. Kind of like when I see the dog money. When the public's betting the dog and they're taking them on the money line thinking they don't even need points, and then the sharps are also on that dog, those dogs tend to worry me most. Yesterday, I mean, you can't really draw too many conclusions. Again, it was just 1 week. The lines were up for a long time. These teams had plenty of time to prepare for that one single opponent. Again, I think this is week 2 is when you start not being able to draw conclusions, but I think we're going to see some teams like how they bounce back off a loss or off a win. And again, you got to take your time. Unfortunately for NFL, it's a short season, so you never really are able to get to that long term, meaning there's not enough time for teams to regress and progress to the means at times. So there's a lot of outliers, unlike in baseball, like we talked about. Long enough season, nobody's winning 62, 65% of their games. You're regressing, you're progressing. That's the bottom line. There's 162 games played. That will happen, but not so likely in the NFL or college football. What stuck out to me yesterday was the public money was betting those favorites like they usually do. And, nothing's really changed, even though, with more and more information and knowledge and more sports bettors entering the party every day. But the biases are still the same, man. They're towards the favorites. They're towards the over. And books take advantage of that every single day.
Isn't it amazing, Gianni? Like we do this every year, and then it's like we all know the public's be playing money like favorites and teasers. We know the Browns are going to screw up a game somehow. We know this team's going to have a bad defense. We know this team's offensive line is going to be bad. It's like yeah, maybe this is a little bit predictable from time to time. So
at times.
Let's take a look at baseball. We don't want to forget about baseball. There's tons of profits to be made in there. We're going to bring on Steve Merril to talk about one game in particular. What are you seeing here? I got a lot of games. It's a pretty decent slate here.
Yeah, it's a good card today. Just 3 sides, 1 total, and also WNBA under Connecticut, Atlanta, under Connecticut, Atlanta. The reason I bring that up is that's one of those where it's opposite what the recreational bettors are betting. We don't get heavy WNBA action, but the couple bets that I have seen come in from the recreational accounts, they've been on the over, but that you have the sharp money coming in on the under. Pay attention there. Now, Major League Baseball, 953 New York Mets even money, 956 Atlanta plus 115, 958 San Diego minus 130, and then 970 Milwaukee, Texas over 8.5. That's another one. The reason it hasn't gone up to 9 yet is you're getting some public money under there. So that's help offset a lot of that risk. So if you agree with that 8.5, jump on that before it gets to 9 and loses its value. So a little slow in baseball, but again, it's only 9 a.m. here on the West Coast. So we got plenty of time to see some more action, hit the window.
Before we let you go, any takeaways from college football over the weekend or any opening lines for college football that jumped off the page that people are jumping on?
No. I mean, again, nothing really jumped out. We're officially now, they call it week 2's over, but it was more like week 3. So we got more data under our belts. That's what I'm looking forward to digging into this week's games, that we actually have something behind it, not just like projecting. Like we have some data to go by, but nothing really stuck out. We don't have like no huge losses by any big favorites or anything like that. Nothing really out of the ordinary happened on Saturday. But it's interesting seeing like some of those higher profile games get that, those big teams have that loss already. You know what I mean? Like a team like Texas, what do they do now that have a loss like that? Those things kind of interest me as we're going forward and how the sportsbooks are going to handle that. Because, those teams got to win, and they got to win with margin now. You know what I mean? You got a loss under your belt. You're not just showing up, even against a weak team that you're a 40-point favorite. You're going to go in there looking to blow them out by 70, I think. So you look for style points on some of those one-loss teams that still had playoff aspirations coming into the season. I think you could get some value there.
It's Monday Night Football. You got loaded baseball slate. What do you have up for clients over at WagerTalk?
Oh, yeah. I got a 2-pack in the NFL. We're coming off a Sunday Night Football 4% best bet winner. And we're rolling over on Monday Night Football. Confirmed side and confirmed total. So they're both in the same package. 4% side, 4% total. Currently number 1 NFL college football combined. You're going to want to see what the college football and NFL action is the rest of this season. I'm getting some really good stuff. Subscribers will tell you. And hopefully we just keep cashing tickets, man. When all the dust settles, as long as we pick up a couple units, things are good. So it's been a great couple weeks. But today we start off 0-0. But there is some soccer. So go to the WagerTalk. There's the free picks page. I put up some premium soccer for you as well. There's some World Cup friendlies out there. And Madagascar was big today. They laid the points with Madagascar. They laid 350 with Madagascar, 400 with Madagascar. So I don't know. I don't like eating that kind of chalk. But when I see that kind of, they're betting it every kind of way. First half, team total. When you're seeing them try to just get down as many different ways on the side, I pay attention. So best of luck, whether you follow or fade. Hope you have a winning week ahead.
Yeah, if you see that kind of movement on soccer,
exactly,
somebody might know something. It's like when there's a random. Yeah, it's like when there's a random tennis tournament. It's like, why is everyone betting on this random?
A dude out of nowhere.
Oh, the other guys have got a pulled hamstring. That's why. Gianni The Greek, everyone, thank you so much. Have fun in Contender Series tomorrow. We'll be cheering you on. Let's take a look at recap here. We're gonna look at some overreactions. We're gonna look at where the books won, where the bettors won. We're gonna take a look at some props and fantasy football winners. Let's start with overreactions. Let me know in the chat which one do you think is the most accurate, or which one is the most ridiculous? Dolphins are the worst team in football. I saw that one a lot. Colts are a legit threat in the AFC South. Overreaction. Steelers and Jets, two of the best offenses in the league. The Lions are now wrecked with losing the coordinators and assistant coaches. The Cowboys are good. The Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs. And everyone wanting to cancel their Red Zone channel subscription because of the commercials. That one was that to me is the clear overreaction winner for week one, overreacting. So let me know what you guys think. So Red Zone, yep. A lot of dislike for Red Zone, and then all of a sudden it's really nice to have in your life on Sundays. So let's take a look at where the books won and where the bettors won. Block. That's not my. I go to social media for those. I ask people. That's not my opinion. I just go to Twitter and look and see what's hot and what's not, and that's where I get those. So that wasn't me. Pretty clear cut where the books won. The under in the Steelers and Jets game was it was over very, very early, literally over. And then the Giants plus the points, with big line movement on the Giants, and the Giants, they were who they thought we were. Where the public won, listen, the money line parlays and teasers with the Broncos, Cardinals, Bengals, and Commanders. And I got to believe everyone did very, very well in their survivor picks. Let's take a look at some of the prop winners. Hope everyone did good in fantasy football. Justin Fields had to be a big winner for his props. Baker Mayfield to throw 2 touchdowns or more just keeps cashing. Ricky Pearsall, we're not going to get that receiving line anymore. He looked fantastic. Anytime touchdowns for James Conner and Derrick Henry and Jalen Hurts. Herbert continues to not throw interceptions. And Emeka Buka, woo. Tampa Bay looked great with him there. Fantasy and props losers. Lions, I'm not panicking on the Lions just yet, but St. Brown, Gibbs, and Montgomery were horrible. The Bengals were terrible. Chad already pointed that out. Burrow, Chase, Higgins were bad. Nico Collins was bad, and that Texans offensive line looks as bad as it was last year. A.J. Brown was a bummer. Pacheco, who knows what is going on in the Chiefs backfield, and Bucky Irving was quite disappointing as well. So those are your props and fantasy football winners and losers. Let's bring on Bill. Crackman, I'm interested in your take. NFL Week 1, overreactions, big winners, big losers. What'd you take away?
Hey, Andy, I actually liked your list wherever you just got that from. It's fantastic. But I'm going to agree with the public, too. The commercials on Red Zone is stupid. That the idea is to get Red Zones, to get all your plays in, have your things, and I mean, to watch everything as it's happening. I don't want to have a commercial when someone's, in the Red Zone, hence to say the Red Zone. But yeah, so that kind of pisses me off, but nothing would surprise me with ESPN. But yeah, and some of those things, of course, they're overreactions. And what people don't fail to realize is whatever the public is thinking, trust me, that is already in the next week's forecasted numbers. When the bookmaker that puts them out, they put them out knowing that that's what the public's going to think. They're going to think teams like, oh, maybe the Pittsburgh's better than we thought with Rodgers, and there's some clear cut ones there too, though. Especially like Kansas City, maybe, or even Buffalo. Even Buffalo's defense was very suspect. So, of course, the next week's going to add an extra half a point or a point on the total, thinking that Buffalo's going to score a lot of points, and their defense sucks. So, what I'm trying to say is, don't think you can outsmart the bookmakers. God blesses the bookmakers. Look what happened. That's my old saying. Look what happened in the show I do on Fox Sports Radio Nationwide. We talked to their head of trading. So, and I tease them all the time and say, listen, God blesses the bookmakers. I mean, one of their biggest bets was they needed the under on the Dallas game. Just think about that. They were like heavy 6 figures under. How do they win that? All over money came in. It was one of their biggest risks for the week. And by the way, the Eagles was giant for them. People laid 7.5, even laid 8 on the Eagles. So that was one of their biggest wins for the week. Was that game? All the bookmakers, though, that's just a representation of the bookmakers in general, how they did for the weekend. They did very well again. So don't let anyone kid you and say, oh, I think a couple of favorites win. People tease them down. They throw them in the money line. And, it doesn't matter. The bookmakers absolutely kill it because of the teaser juice, the parlays. Everyone's up. I call them chow mainers. Like when you go to a Chinese restaurant and the waiter comes to you and you don't know what you want and you've been waiting there 30 minutes and you don't know what you want, you say, okay, give me the chow mein, because you're a chow mainer. That's what they do with these chow mainers. They go to the line last minute. They're online, and every sports book in America has people that get shut out. Why? They can't make their decision up. It's just like the guy ordering the Chinese food. He can't make his decision up. He goes to the window and just says, "Oh, give me," and then he gets shut out. I mean, it's amazing. We have a challenge on one of my shows, and it's called the Crack Challenge. 5 games against the spread every week at 5 minutes before post. So it's just that hard to beat. And I've had some professionals go 40%, 35%. That's how hard it is to beat an efficient line. That's why week 1 was so tough, Andy, too. These lines have been out for months. So, like when I'm getting to a Colts game back in June, plus 1.5, and now they're minus 1.5. You can't give that out to the public. That's another thing too, Andy, I hate, and some of them I know, they're actually some friends of mine. I can't stand when people send out games. Bet games 359, Arizona over at Hard Rock. That's going to be your official play. one effing sportsbook has it, and you want to tell people and now you want to grade your over 39 when it's 40 everywhere, and the game lands on 40, and now you're going to grade it a winner because Hard Rock in Florida had it, or ESPN bet, where no one that has a pulse can bet, and they get thrown out, or DraftKings that throws out anyone that wins over $100 on a bet. I'm going into some sports books today. I hate to usually mention them by name, but yeah, this is what I get. So I'm kind of pissed off about a couple things. And this weekend was a weekend where I had great closing line value, and I'm not making excuses. But hey, I actually lost on Sunday. Most of the pros did. I didn't get to hear what Gianni said, but I'm guaranteeing you, he said lots of the pros did. I mean, for me to get to Atlanta early before the line move, I mean that actually, and Seattle, I actually seen these games at post time -1. I took 2.5. I gave them out 2.5. These games too, but at the end, like just to see those two teams choke. Seattle was dominating the whole game. Atlanta missed a chippy field goal at the end. I mean, some of these guys are amazing. They can kick 60-some yarders, but yet when the pressure's on, they can't kick 35. They can't kick an extra point. So, which is unbelievable. But yeah, no, it was a weekend that was a little choppy on Saturday, but a small win actually. For like I had Dallas. I hate giving all these sides out, but people want sides. So Dallas, I thought it was going to be a great NFL week. I had Dallas plus the points, and then you come right into getting a closing line value. Months ago, I sent out Kansas City, pick them minus like 30, and boy, now here's an overreaction. Do you really think the Chiefs are that bad? Do you think they're not going to learn off of a week, overseas and come back here and just not be the team they used to be? Maybe not, but they're not going to miss the playoffs, right? I mean, I don't think so. But yeah, so it's first week. I'm really happy to get over that and get some unique lines in here. We got Monday Night Football tonight. That's the old black and blue game there, and that this game is a great division rival game tonight. The sharps are back and forth on this. I know I bet it when it was plus 1.5 when the line came out. I bet Minnesota. Now they're minus 1.5, and see, perfect example. I can't give that out to people and tell people to buy that. It's not fair. It's not fair. Now, granted, I think Minnesota is going to be a better team this year. I think they're going to be a better team than people think. I like McCarthy. I like just the organization. I actually made some future bets on them, but I thought Chicago. I like the under on things on Chicago season wins, not to make the playoffs. Well, one of my guys that I really respect, he actually likes Chicago to make the playoffs. So, you get back and forth, but I got to stick with what I got to stick with, though. I got to go with Minnesota. And if you have to make a bet on something, my God, I would suggest a money line on Minnesota. I like Minnesota tonight. Old division game, love that. But I know it's hard for people to stay off the games, Andy. Monday Night Football games on TV. Well, they got to have action.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be hard. I'm not playing anything on it. I had a 6-4 day yesterday.
The the public.
I know. It's our public service announcement. You don't have to bet Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
You like any props in this game? I'm on the fence. I kind of like DeAndre Swift over his rushing and receiving. Couldn't get there. A sneaky one is Caleb Williams not to throw an interception. I think he only had 4 games with an interception last year, but nothing I actually got to the window with my own money on.
Andy, it's funny, right? I used to be like 75, 78% all unders on my props. It's getting closer to 50-50 now. So I'm going to give you an over that I bet. I like Loveland over receiving yards. 27.5 minus 15. I'm looking at the BetMGM line. New coach Ben Johnson there. He really should have a ton of 2 tight end sets. So I like him over. Caleb Williams likes those little short routes, so I like his over on his yards tonight. So there's a prop that I put my money where my mouth is tonight. There we go.
Yeah, you got some. Titan says he likes running back Mason. The books are lining this backfield like it's a true split. I don't know if you saw the numbers. They got Aaron Jones at like 53.5 and Jordan Mason's at 39.5. So it's like, ooh, books are telling us both guys are going to get it. I like that Loveland prop a lot. You can tell the books struggle with some of these props because they're just vanilla numbers. So if you have a strong opinion one way or the other, you can really get after them. So let's see. Anything else, Bill? Anything like an MLB or you laying low?
I kind of step back now from Major League Baseball a little bit. But as far as going back to the football, on a prop, I have no problem with you going over a yard or 2 different compared to a side or a total on a football game. If I tell you to go over 43 and it's 45, I'm not going to tell you to go over 45. But sure enough, like Loveland was over 27.5 minus 15. Then I seen over 29.5 minus 110. I have no problem doing that and suggesting that in case people want to know about that. Granted, you should have more outs. If you have more outs, you're going to find I'm always going to release things that are available at many places. So I look at the DraftKings line, look at the FanDuel line, which many people have. A big part of the public's repertoire there is to bet those places. I sure wish I could bet in there. So I try to give out an available line, of course. I'm not going to give out something like I said before. I went off on that rant. How about these unders week 1 too? That's another thing. So if you look yesterday, the first set of games, it looked like they were all going to fly over. All the first halves were going over. And then 11-2, I think, even with this new kickoff rule, which is totally insane.
Do you like it?
35.
I kind of liked it.
You only have to get 20 yards, and these guys are going for 63-yard field goals. They're trying to kick them 60-yard.
So
you
didn't like it. You didn't.
No, I'm just saying. It's okay. All I'm doing is stating fact that I thought the NFL was gonna take a while to adjust, and there was gonna be a lot more points scored in these games, and to not see it actually surprised me. But I think people will get used to it, and it's fun. Listen, it's conducive to more scoring. They want more scoring. They want fans to have that retention. So, but I was surprised at all the unders that came in yesterday. Bills Ravens, the fourth quarter was just crazy too last night. That was just football, man. Look at how you just toss a coin there. If you were to bet that game, literally, you could have won either sides if you have all different outs and you've been paying attention for months. You could have got to the lines. Either side, you could have had plus 1.5 on that game. So interesting games, a lot of fun, and we got some new stuff up there for WagerTalk. $200 again, $199 for the month. I don't know. I could have swore I talked to the guys and they were discontinuing that Tuesday of last week. I don't know, but I see it up there now. So there you go. I've never charged less than $500 for a month. So there's something to get on. Jump on it right now. We're gonna have a lot of props. Week 2, 3, 4. You're gonna get week 5 in there, and I'm sure you'll come back. So there it is.
We got a new one for you. We got a new code for you. Crack wins 69. It gets a week of your plays for just $69. So we got it down to $10 a day. So you want Bill's plays? Use the code Crack wins 69. Just $69 for all of Bill's plays, props, anything.
Usually I wouldn't show that money like that. That was a photo when I was going up to the window the other day to sign up for the $100,000 Grandissimo, WagerTalk said, "Can we film?" I said, "Go ahead. I'm bringing up 100,000 to," and we had Denver in that Grandissimo, and boy, I'll tell you what, that was a sweat. That was a sweat. Even though they won by 8, let me tell you.
Yes.
Tennessee was driving there at one time. They're going to go ahead. That was a sweat even. So I don't know. Now, that doesn't mean Tennessee's better than people thought, and it doesn't mean Denver is worse than people thought. Just any given Sunday. Anything can happen.
Absolutely. Bill Crackman, use that promo code CrackWins69. Get 7 days worth of plays for just $69, less than $10 a day. Bill, thank you so much. Can't wait to do it again next Monday.
Thanks,
Bill
guys.
Crackman, everyone. We got another special. If you're interested in just football, we've got a football special coming up for this weekend. All football plays for your handicapper of choice. It's just $49. Just flat rate $49. Gets you the whole weekend for Saturday and Sunday. We're also going to include any plays we may have for Friday and for Monday Night Football. So you're getting 4 days, college football, CFL, NFL, any football that you want, $49. That way we have a big weekend for everybody. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all football, just $49. It includes 5% best bets. It includes props, parlays, totals, teasers, you name it. It's included that. So just $49. Lock that in over at WagerTalk.com. Let's bring in Steve Merril. And this is weird, Steve. Normally we do this on Tuesday, and you got a $5 bill coming across. But we're gonna talk. We get $5 Monday. Sure, why not?
This is called foreshadowing. This is called. I predict tomorrow on Tuesday, September 9th, will be a fantastic special offer at WagerTalk.com called $5 Tuesday. We're actually less than 8 hours away. People don't know this, Andy. A little insider information here. Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, is officially when $5 Tuesday begins. So tonight on Monday, after 8 o'clock Eastern, right after Monday Night Football kicks off, when you're jonesing for more action, there will be some advanced $5 best bets starting to trickle. Abe Lincoln starts to trickle onto the site at 8 o'clock Eastern Monday.
$5 Tuesday sounds a lot better than $5 8 o'clock.
$5 Monday night after Monday Night Football kicks off. Be there.
Yes, absolutely.
Marketing's department shut that one down.
Speaking of Monday Night Football, let's talk it. Let's get your breakdown for the Vikings and the Bears. Of course, lots of stories here. J.J. McCarthy making a start. We got new coaching in Chicago. This is an interesting game here. It's right around even. I mean, you can tell the books don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. Even that 43.5 seems like a pretty vague line. So they're leaving some opportunities here. If you got a strong opinion, what's your breakdown on this game?
Yeah, the only thing better than $5 Tuesday is free Monday Night Football. And I did a video for this game a couple of days ago. It's online right now. A deep dive breakdown for Vikings Bears. I'm going to give you the free play right here on Wager Talk Today as well. I like the Chicago Bears in this game as a live home dog. Ralph Michaels was on last Tuesday right before me here with you, Andy, on Wager Talk Today. And Ralph had that chart of NFL divisional teams doing very well in week one. 65% over the past decade, divisional dogs, that is, doing well in week one. And it makes a lot of sense. Teams know each other well. They have the whole summer to prepare. And the team that's often the weaker team makes adjustments where the better team doesn't have to. And I think that'll definitely be the case in this game. Bears last year struggled. They only outgained 4 of their 17 opponents in total yards. There was nothing misleading about that 5-12 losing record. But they do have a new coach, Ben Johnson. And they've got the more experienced quarterback here. And one thing Ralph pointed out in that chart last week was how good divisional home dogs have been, the real sweet spot. In fact, over the past decade and a half, they were 18-4 against the spread. We missed out with the Atlanta Falcons in that role, although that game went off at a pick-em yesterday. And we all know that could have gone either way. Atlanta probably should have won that game, in my opinion. We did see both the Cowboys and Chargers cover on Thursday and Friday night as divisional dogs. Giants missed out yesterday. The Lions missed out, but I had a best bet on the Packers. The Lions were the most public underdog on the board for Sunday, so definitely did not like that one. But this is a a divisional dog, rather, which I think is live tonight. And I'm going to go back to something you said is about J.J. McCarthy not only making his first start, he's like throwing his first NFL regular season pass ever. He only played in limited preseason last year. He got hurt in the first game against the Raiders, missed the entire season his rookie year. And I believe he only played in one preseason game this year. So you talk about green. Monday Night Football, hostile environment on the road against what I think is an improved Bears squad with a new scheme, new coach, new motion. And then Caleb Williams, we're getting the better quarterback the more experienced quarterback as a home underdog in a divisional game, which is a strong angle to start with. So I like the Bears in this one. If you want a little added protection, they do probably make a pretty good teaser play now that it's sitting at plus 1.5. You can get them up to 7.5 or more. We've talked about how week one is not ideal for teasers because the lines are a little softer. But if you look back yesterday and this week in general, teasers have done pretty well. Philadelphia Eagles covered the teaser, didn't cover the line. You look yesterday, Seattle, 1.5, 2-point home divisional dog also covered the teaser, but did not cover the 2-point line, lost by 4. The Broncos, 8 to 9-point favorite. They win by exactly 8. The most public play of the week would have covered the teaser. So you, of course, have to tie that up with some advanced games for next weekend in the NFL. But I like the Bears. I think they're a live dog, plus 1.5 money line, and they make a pretty solid 6-point teaser at 7.5 or more as well.
Let's move to MLB real quick. Can't forget about Major League Baseball. Let's talk this Mets and Phillies. And I was looking at the pitching matchups for today and tomorrow, and it's amazing that two of the same teams can have such vastly different pitching situations compared to just like literally 24 hours apart. So it looks like we got McClain for the Mets. He's been sharp, only 4 earned runs, 26 innings pitched. We got what's your take on this Mets Phillies?
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup because they just played at the end of August about just over a week ago, and Nolan McClain made his first start against the Phillies in that game. In fact, he's had very limited action this season. Overall, he has only 4 starts. But as you said, he's been an excellent 1.37 ERA, and part of that was an 8-inning shutout just 2 weeks ago on August 27th against the Phillies, and he gave up just 4 hits. So he had their number. I do think they'll have a little bit more of an edge this time after just seeing him. They'll make some adjustments, but he has been fantastic. Meanwhile, Aaron Nola has not been for the Phillies this season. Limited due to injury. He missed 3 months, was out in mid-May, did not come back until mid-August, and he was awful in the debut against not my Washington Nationals. On the road in mid-August, he gave up 6 runs in just 2 innings, and he hasn't been much better since. Gave up 7 runs over 12 innings his next 2 starts, and they got lit up against the Brewers, maybe the best team in baseball last week, giving up 6 runs in just 5 innings. So I need to see something from Nola. A lot of times these guys struggle in their first couple outings, and then they turn things on. But he's had 4 subpar outings now since coming back from injury. Overall this year, an awful 6.8 ERA and 69 innings of work, dude. And this is a guy that's a pure fade for me. And by the way, the Mets' current lineup tonight, 285 career batting average, and that's over 280 at-bats, 80 for 281, 285 career average. So the Mets hit him well. Nola's in bad current form. The game total at 8.5, I think, has value with Nola himself giving up 6.5 runs per 9 innings, and 9 is a very key number. But if you want to take, McClain out of the situation since he did shut down the Phillies, we can always look at a team total and get the Mets over 4.5 at almost even money. I do think the Phillies over 3.5 could be worth a look as well, as I do think they'll hit McClain better here this second time around. But once again, Mets over 4.5 runs against Aaron Nola has been one of the worst pitchers in baseball this year. I think has some value tonight on Monday. And by the way, this is the MLB Network national TV game at 6:45 Eastern. There are 11 baseball games on the board tonight, and I've got nearly half of them analyzed for my clients and for free. I've got 3 strong best bets tonight, and I made a 3-for-1 triple play. Don't sleep on baseball in September. Last year, I finished on an incredible 57-28 best bet winning run over the final few months of the baseball season. I've also got a bonus play for one of your late games tonight in the American League, and also a free play video on the other late game in the National League between the Diamondbacks and Giants right here, free on WagerTalk TV. So lots of baseball still to be played the next couple months. Cash in big, and this is your last chance to get 7 days all sports, football and baseball, for just $77. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM.
What a nightmare year for Nola. Like, this poor guy, man.
He should have stayed injured.
Every time he steps on the mound, it's just like balls flying out of the stadium. So great work there, Steve. Takeaways from week 1 on your team. So Andrew's team won, my team won, Dan's team won, your team won. How are you feeling?
Not my Washington Commanders, which would mean if they win, I lose. Not until they're the Redskins again. But, there's a lot of excitement, obviously, with them making the NFC Championship game last year. I've said several times, I thought the best play of the season was the Philadelphia Eagles last year in that game, fading the Commanders. I just couldn't see them in the Super Bowl. I still think they regress this season. And let's be honest, the Giants are expected to be one of the worst teams in football. We'll see. A stiffer test this week for not my Washington Commanders, as I believe they play Thursday night football against a feisty little team called the Green Bay Packers. And I will have a free play video up. I might actually record it today, Andy, and it'll be up nice and early, probably tomorrow on Tuesday for that Thursday night game. But yeah, their defense looked okay. That was impressive. I thought the Giants would get a little more. The Giants had a chance to score late. They were driving. One thing I will point out, though, as we've talked about, is that week 1 is kind of week 4A of the preseason still. And we will often see results in week 1 that do not correlate to the rest of the season. I heard you talking about the Colts and Dolphins earlier. Obviously, that was just a blowout offensive game for the Colts. We'll see if that translates to the rest of the season. But for the most part, I think things kind of went as they should. Tough loss to end the weekend. We had the Baltimore Ravens last night. I also did a free play video for everybody with the Ravens this week. 16 points in the final 4 minutes they allow after a fumble from one of the best running backs in history. By the way, the Ravens in-game had a 99% chance of winning straight up with 4 minutes to go. So if you had Buffalo, you had a 1% chance, and you got it done. We'll see if that Bills defense gets any better, if the Ravens offense is really that good, minus the fumble.
Yeah, Derrick Henry, they had a live line on his rushing. It was like 176.5, and he was over it. And then on that fumble, they took away 9 yards. So
did they really?
You had a winner, and then all of a sudden you had a lose.
Wow, that might be the worst bad beat from one of the worst bad beats in the history of Sunday Night Football.
That's a bad beat. Yeah, when you have the over on Derrick Henry, he gets over, and then they take away 9 yards because of the fumble.
Once again, one of the best running backs in history. He passed Jim Brown for career touchdowns last night. That's how good that. And I consider. Comment in the chat. I consider Jim Brown the greatest football player ever, just because he dominated more at his time than anybody's ever dominated. I think that's how you have to look at it. So yeah, that's just insane. But that's the NFL for you. NFL is back.
Brutal. Anytime the books need to win, it's like they just do.
No, don't go there. Don't be getting conspiracy on me now. Come on. Thursday night football.
Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. That was
exactly.
172-1 to the over. When the team had 41 points at the half and the total was 50 or less, it was 172-1 to the over. It's now 172-2. I think there's a chance I had that other one, because I know I had a game a couple years ago. It was like a Colts game, I think, or a Lions game. We had like 40-some points at the half, and it stayed under, but I think the total was like 52, so it might not have technically qualified.
Yeah.
But by the way, Andy, real quick for the viewers out there, if we ever get a situation like that again, that was one of the best in-game live betting opportunities ever, in hindsight. 9 touchdowns and field goals and a fumble before the delay, and then 5 straight punts end of game afterwards. There is no question that nearly 1 hour delay allowed the defensive coordinators to make the adjustments, the zigzag like we see in the NBA playoffs. Now, it might not work in all games, but if we get a back-and-forth shootout like that gets a weather delay here in the next couple of weeks, I think that in-game under is probably worth a wager.
Yeah. Bummer, man. I lost a 5% on under 1.5 rain delays this week at minus 17,000.
My woman Mary tried.
My woman Mary
Sorry,
tried.
Guys. Did win, by the way. My team did win right on Saturday. It was actually almost Sunday. They won at 11:45 Eastern because they had 2 1-hour lightning delays. I hadn't even gone to the stadium yet for either one because they kept kicking fans out. And that game took forever. There were like 10 people in the arena. So weather was wreaking havoc on the East Coast this weekend. And we might get some more of that. We got a couple more weeks of September. I do think that is a good betting strategy to look for the contrarian call. However the game was going, look for the opposite after the long delay.
All right, Steve Merril, have a great Monday. He's in play in baseball tonight, so take advantage of Steve Merril over at WagerTalk.com. Dan, what is this shots fired? If you're betting a live rushing total, it won.
Dave Mason hacked in and wrote that comment. That was Dave Mason. That wasn't me. He was the one.
It actually won.
It did win.
It didn't win.
Until it didn't.
I've never won and lost the same bet.
Yeah. No, that's pretty brutal. That's pretty brutal. I had to see if you were paying attention to the chat, Andy. I was just a little warning shot across the bow there for you.
All right. Well, while I got you on here, we're gonna get. I want Dan's opinion on something, and then we'll do all around the world. Give you guys some free bets. All right. So Dan, you're the representation of everybody that had Denver in their Survivor. So the game
Lordy.
the game starts and you're like, oh no, Bo Nix is going to play awful today. And then what was your thoughts when it's 4th down? They're like, well, we could ice it with a field goal. We could punt it. No, we're going to go for it. And we're going to throw a Hail Mary bomb to nobody. So walk us through what was it like having Denver in the Survivor Bowl?
All I know is it was our esteemed leader who is a Denver fan in Kelly in Vegas, who said, if Bo Nix throws 2 interceptions, we're all going to lose our Survivor play, or at least lose the cover if people were looking at Denver Broncos. And that was just ringing in my head when I saw the first turnover from Bo Nix. I was like, oh God, the Denver hype that we were sold heading into the season is biting them so hard in the ass right now because they're just playing down to competition. And really, if you think of what you've got with Sean Payton over his entire career, world beaters who they will play down to their competition. So like why I expected anything different was crazy, but all I had was visions dancing in my head, Andy, of what happened last year with the Bengals when they were the team. And I said it with you on Friday when I said they could be this year's Bengals, right? Because it's that much of a slam spot. It's a slam dunk. And whenever that happens, it makes me nervous, but there were several moments, Andy, where I was like, holy shit, I'm screwed. But then I was like, but the team they're playing is so bad. Like they were doing nothing to make me nervous. It was only the Broncos that were making me nervous. So we got it home. Andy, I was even towards the end of that Cardinals game for you. I was starting to sweat a little bit. I was like, is Rattler really about to tie this game? Like
very Cardinals-y.
Scoring.
Yeah, very Cardinals-y of them. Oh, we're killing this team. Let's let them back in it. Lucky for me, I don't know if you saw the last play. It's like, okay, it's 4th down. It's the last play of the game. Maybe you should keep the ball in bounds, Spencer. You just throws it out of bounds, out of the side of the end zone. Wouldn't hurt. But we had a great week.
We survived, Andy. We
survived. We survived. We had I put the Jags in several of our picks on Bet Online. We used the Jags.
I was picking myself. So the circa entry, we end up going 2-3 because Falcons end up screwing us, Seahawks end up screwing us, and we had the Dolphins that was just a wrong side. But the one that I wanted to trade out for the Dolphins was Jags, and I really wanted the Raiders in our entry. Unfortunately, my cohort, Adam, he gets the final say. He's the guy who actually went and got the proxy sign up, so he gets the final stamp on it. So, hey, what are you going to do? 2-3, at least it wasn't an 0-5 week. Doesn't take us out of contention. Fine. Exactly. And there will be a 5-0 week incoming, and I will be insufferable when that happens. But, guys, you can watch that every week, every Thursday. We're doing Let's Make Millions. Me and Adam Rosenberg sharing our Circa Millions entry card. So, but, Andy, we did survive. We survived. So the I will survive story, we get the graphic lives another week. The graphic lives another week.
I got that 49ers team circled against the Saints.
Yeah.
I don't care that they got close to Arizona. They were non-competitive in that game.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Early look for me too, Andy. I think I'm a sadist for punishment. I think I'm going to go back to the well on the Dolphins. Because nobody wants to bet the Dolphins this week. And here's one thing that went under the radar.
You're not taking them to win outright, are you?
I think they're 1.5 point favorites. So if the contest line comes around to pick them, comes around to 1, here's the thing for me is the Patriots looked awful too, but because of all the other crazy stuff that happened, that's going under the radar. And this is a come to Jesus moment. This is one of those plays where everybody thinks one way. I want to be on the other side of the bar with myself, just sitting there dancing with myself. So maybe that's what we'll be doing. I haven't put it in yet, but yeah, it might be a little dancing with myself special, and the Dolphins may be a bet.
All right. Well, let's close out with all around the world. Let's do some free plays for today. A couple of these come off of the WagerTalk free picks page. We got a prop here for Monday Night Football. I would look at Caleb Williams over 20.5 pass completions. The last 7 games of 2024, with Ben Johnson was with the Lions. Goff easily flew over this number. Now Ben Johnson's head coach of the Bears. Running game for the Bears not as good as the Lions, so I think they're going to get Caleb comfortable with a lot of quick passes. He had 18 and 32 completions in 2 games against Minnesota last year. I think they've upgraded everything there. So Brewers at the Rangers. That graphic is wrong. It's supposed to say Brewers money line. Sorry, it's supposed to say Brewers. I have no idea why I typed Rangers on that one. That's my bad. Quintana for the Brewers. He's won 4 out of the last 5. Brewers are just crushing, and they swept their last series and they scored 10 runs yesterday. I apologize from the graphics department. Cubs at Braves. Look at Elder over 17.5 outs. He's gone over in 6 out of the last 7 games. Last 2 games he's went 21 outs. In the last game against the Cubs, he went 21 outs as well. So take a look at Elder to go deep into that game. All right, thanks very much. Appreciate you guys. It's been a great Monday. My $5 Tuesday play will be up at 8 o'clock tonight. It's for tomorrow, but I already know what it's going to be. It's the only play that I'm going to have up today for clients. We're sitting out Monday Night Football because we had a really good day in NFL yesterday, going 6-4 on our props. So anytime you can walk out of week 1 with 6-4 Sunday, you're going to be really happy. So we're going to sit out Monday Night Football, but at 8 o'clock, get ready. We got a 4% play that's going up for $5 Tuesday. Big discount on that one. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. Leave a comment in the comment section and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have so many breakdown videos of individual games for MLB, for NFL, for college football. It's the place to be to get all the best information for your bets. Thanks very much. Good luck on Monday Night Football. We'll see you everyone tomorrow. Take care.